So that was definitely a first.
What's that?
The fire drill during an
Oh,
interview.
yeah. I actually was talking to somebody else for something completely separate, and yeah, they're like, yeah, our building just had a fire test or like a so like it's funny that he just said that same thing. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but
Yeah. I
yeah,
hope it's I hope it's just a drill. He said
yeah,
he has the link, so he might join us too. How have you been?
busy man. Like it's like we're right there. We're right there. So have you been able to see everything? Did you get sent the screeners and all that stuff? I haven't seen anything, so I'm excited.
Well, you were part of it. So, I mean, how much I mean, so okay, so here this is a good setup. You've been part of reality television. You know that there's pros and cons to it. Uh Different shows maybe edit take more liberties with the content than others, but what are you expecting this experience to be like? Because you obviously lived through it and it's pro wrestling, but what are you expecting the final product to be like?
I think that everybody's going to be able to see a bunch of individuals that haven't given up yet. Like, I think a lot of people have like dreams and aspirations, whether it's them becoming a doctor or a lawyer or a firefighter or a race car driver or a professional football player, or professional wrestler. And life kicks you in the teeth enough times to where you give up on them, you know? And I think that this is going to, the depiction that's going to come across, it's going to run the gamut of every demographic can see a little bit of themselves in probably one character or another. The mainstream appeal that it's going to have is just going to be across the entire country and probably hopefully like fingers crossed other countries as well, because us as a whole and what's being showcased, granted, like there's a financial, like a bigger, from the sound of things, like a bigger story for the entire organization, but us as individuals, as talent, um, we haven't given up on our dreams yet, you know, to whatever capacity, whether it's the beginning of the fight or the tail end, you know, for other characters that are a little bit older, you know, such as myself. But when it comes to reality television, this is a docu-series, so I don't think anybody's going to be made out to be a bad guy. So it's not necessarily like the dynamic that other reality television kind of needs to have, like a good versus evil and that sort of dynamic. Whereas this one is I think everybody's going to have an awesome light, and I'm excited, like wholeheartedly. Like it's by far the biggest thing I've ever been a part of, and it's crazy. So to call myself the face that runs the place of Netflix already, I mean, it's fitting. It's fitting.
It's kind of funny in a way because certain wrestling promotions, certain talent, they're presented as larger than life. So the fact that you're saying that in this show, people might find a little bit of themselves, you know, in yourself or some of the other names on the show, like I think wrestling being more relatable and sort of dropping the veil is actually a good thing now because of that reason, where instead of it being this like wrestlers, and they still can be superheroes, don't get me wrong, but it's like it's not unobtainable. It's within reach for some people if they maybe they don't know that they want to be a wrestler, and this maybe gives them that extra push to sort of pursue it.
Absolutely. And they haven't given up yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you only fail when you give up. And that's when it gets real. And the people that want to hate on individuals, it's you never get shit on by people that are doing better than you. You know, you're always going to get cut down by individuals that like are kind of upset that you're still trying, you know, and you haven't given up. And that's why I think this will resonate with a lot of people, and they can kind of see like whether it's a financial struggle, whether it's like a family struggle, whether it's a relationship struggle. I mean, there's so many different facets of just the real world that are being completely injected into this, you know, series of wrestlers. That's going to be a testament to everybody's, you know, the wherewithal of like realization in their own life and kind of seeing it like, wow, these guys, like, even though X, Y, and Z is completely falling off, like the wheels are falling off in life, and they're still going out there and performing, you know. And I always kind of bring it back to parenting, because it's like your kids don't care what kind of day dad has. They need you to be their dad. You know, the fans don't care what all the other BS or financial struggles or like car, you know, broke down or whatever the case may be, going into the show, they want you to put on a show. So
I absolutely relate to that last part. I'm a dad, and sometimes they just, when they get home from school, they don't care if I had a bad day. They're just like, nope, we need you to do this role, and it's like, you just got to do it. But you're very good at self-promoting. If anybody follows you on social media, they know that. How hard was it to keep this under wraps and not talk about the show?
I've been a part of so many projects that like you shoot stuff or you do stuff, and then like not only there's NDAs and stuff like that, but you don't know if it's really going to come to fruition either, and like that's a whole nother kicker. With this, obviously, it's a completely different beast. Like when they're bringing in like the heavy hitters, like Greg Whiteley is no joke. His entire team, utmost true professionals. Like I can't commend them or applaud them enough. Like, and they graciously gave us the same kind of tip of the hat of us being professionals as well, and giving what they, a show, And with that being said, like it's been an awesome ride. I think the biggest thing that I had a complex on is just like hoping and praying and like having the timing of the actual release of September 13th hit at the right time, for the people that kind of want to see content like this. So.
I think it's hitting at the right time. OVW is getting some attention coming in the last week. You had Dixie Carter on TV. Thoughts on her big return? You didn't look like you were happy to see her at first, but
yeah, I mean, I love Dixie. She gave me a shot, like, and kind of, she gave me a huge opportunity herself, and it's one of those people that you try to stick around the people that you like first and foremost in relationships and business and stuff like that. You keep around individuals that are like-minded or have your best interests in mind, because they're far and few between, and Dixie's one of those individuals. And I've asked her of a favor, which we'll get into maybe later in a couple months, like that'll get released and stuff. But to see her and to, like you said, whether it's the rub, whether it's helping OVW, whether it's helping the promotion of wrestlers, all of that kind of came to fruition, probably because of Al Snow. So it was definitely by design, if I had to guess. And it was awesome. And it's awesome that she was a part of it. And I can't thank her enough, because like you said, it kind of then sent like a shock wave and another like burst of just like instantaneous recognition for OVW once again, like you're saying.
So her nephew gets no credit. It's all Al.
Yeah, I true. I think EC3 might have had. I mean, he is a Carter. I'll give him that. I don't really like him too much. I feel like he's trying to be. I'm the Ken doll of OVW. I think he's trying to swoop in somehow and act like he's the Adonis, and I'm just like, I've literally been called an Adonis my whole life. So I can't give him too much props, but yeah, he probably had a little bit to do with it, if I had to guess. Yeah.
I've never run a wrestling business. I've never been on that side of it. And maybe she gets a bad rap, but I would love to pick her brain one day and see, maybe get her to reflect on some of the stuff that happened, bad and good. I mean, it sounds like history's been a little more kind as far as fans wanting to see her back. Obviously, when she showed up I don't remember what show it was, but I know it was a Ring of Honor show. I think it was the Women of Honor tournament a couple years ago. She showed up there, and people loved it. People loved the OVW appearance. So I think if she ever, maybe wanted to make a little bit more frequent appearances, it would be a good time to do it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The reception was definitely welcomed, excuse me. And I think it's kind of up to her schedule, because who knows what she's up to now, you know what I mean? And just staying busy and whatnot. But we would love to have her, OVW, I mean, to any capacity, in the capacity that she's already helped out with, which was outstanding. And I can't thank her enough, sincerely. She's awesome.
Thinking about your whole career, TNA, OVW, is there a match that you're most proud of that really represents what you try to be as a wrestler, whether it was as a bro man, current champion, anything that comes to mind?
What's crazy is if you would have asked me this last week, I would have had a completely different answer. And today, as I'm before you, like right before September 13th, when Wrestlers premieres, I can tell you honestly, without a shadow of a doubt, this last Thursday, and then coming into Saturday, the match with EC3 is something that's noteworthy because I've been the villain, quote unquote, or a bad guy due to situational circumstances, all the way up until just Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And we're now taking people that genuinely hate me and I, on a constant weekly basis, say OVW loves me, set it in a completely different demeanor and in a completely different way because of the situation that I'm currently in, and has a completely different feel. And I'm taking them along the story of me kind of not being the villain anymore, but being a babyface due to the circumstances and stuff, and representing OVW as a whole as the face, and they can actually get behind it now. So same words, same guy, same personality, same character, same exact words and catchphrases. Just instead of people hating the fact that I was saying them, now that they can actually cheer them with me. So literally just this Saturday was the body of work kind of all came together just on Saturday, and I'm super proud of it. Other things like I've had a match with Bully Ray. I've had a match with Drew McIntyre that was for Explosion on Impact. That like just the physicality. I mean, because he's like 6'5", 260, 270, all man, you know, and the physicality that he brought out of me because of the way we were working together. I was giving it back to him, and it was just another match for him, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
teeing off this dude. So, but yeah, like there's different essences and different stuff, but when you can actually elicit true emotion out of the crowd, you're a rock star. When you can say one thing or do one thing or make one gesture and get a boo or get a cheer that literally is just the roar of the entire crowd and everybody that's there, there's nothing like it. So
Remember when I was just talking about I have to be dad when I don't want to be?
hey there.
I'm opening her.
I got you.
No, you're on. You got to go over there. See, I'm never off duty.
No, and I applaud you for that because I'm 100% the same exact way. So they're the only thing that matters. They're the only thing that matters. So
absolutely. All right, here's my last question. Yourself, EC3, you have Layla Gray, Shara. There's a bunch of names that have had TV experience that are with OVW now that appear on OVW TV. Is there anybody in particular that you're maybe looking forward to them getting more exposure from wrestling, from Wrestlers, the Netflix show specifically, that maybe didn't have it before?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. Eric from Dark Clouds Bundles. They're a tag team called Dark Clouds. Haley J's, I think, going to be a pretty big character inside inside Wrestlers. Joe Mack actually is Canadian. There's a handful of other guys. Omar Amir, who's down from, I think he was actually came from the Bahamas. I trained with him down at Bubba Devon's at Team 3D Academy, so we've known each other for years and years. Luscious Lawrence has been doing this for a hot minute, and like he's like right there on the brink of finding himself. The Outrunners, mind you, they're literally frequenting ROH and AEW like weekly. Those guys, and like I've known Shiloh and Randy just entire tenure that I've been there at OVW as well over the years and stuff. But the talent that's there. I mean, we have comedy, we have drama, we have, sexy girls, absolutely divas, knockouts, however you want to put them. And they're wrestlers too. Like they have some of the best wrestling, like female wrestlers in any promotion, absolutely hands down. It's just the storytelling and the appeal that we actually have, but it's because of the guys that are coming up. Cashflow has been doing this for a long time. And I think he's going to be a standout individual too when it comes to being a character. Cal Hero has been doing it just for a short stint, but been pretty much in the wrestling business since he was a child.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he's not a child now at like 20, 21, 22, whatever he is. Just all of these guys though, like we're right there, you know. And if people get to watch wrestlers, definitely continue or go back and watch like the weekly shows too, and like the body of work that OVW has been producing like weekly, you know. It's awesome. It's sincerely, and I'm stoked to be a part of it and happy to continue to hopefully elevate it. So
Forget the exact number, but I remember Al saying if there wasn't like an interruption, it would be the longest running TV series. It would have beaten Raw, but I forget what's missing. So I'll look it up after, but it was like there's a certain part of the library that was missing or something. But uh OVW's been around for many, many years, and it's cool seeing all of you get this exposure, this new opportunity to show what you're doing. Anything else you want to plug before we get out of here? We covered some current OVW events and obviously the show. Anything else you have going on?
There's a handful of things that I'm going to be a part of too, just personally and stuff. I think the biggest focal point, though, obviously, and I'm sure you know, is the fact that I would genuinely, if anybody's ever seen me in any other capacity of entertainment, you know, whether it's on, you know, CBS's Big Brother, on The Talk, on The Young and the Restless, to the Tainted Dreams stuff that I've done for soap series and stuff like that. If anybody's ever had a smile come across their face because of any of those other projects, definitely just check out at least one episode of Wrestlers. And the reason why I say that is like if you can have them watch just one, guaranteed they're going to watch all seven, you know. And the appeal is going to be for young kids, like kind of seeing wrestlers and what it would potentially take to kind of go into any profession, but also like the parents that are still trying, because we're parents too, you know. And there's no reason that you need to give up on a lot of stuff. And I think seeing the trials and tribulations that we go through is really admirable, you know. And I think that's going to be depicted and showcased, and it's going to resonate with a lot of individuals that are just casual watchers or viewers, you know, that might want to just pick up and check something out, and it'll move them, you know, on the inside. And when something touches you, hopefully it helps incentivize individuals to make a change if that's what they kind of seek out to do, which is crazy to say when you think about wrestling, you know, and wrestlers and stuff like that. But I promise you, like, this is a catch-all. This show, I hope, catches like wildfire and changes not only our lives, like personally, but then also OVW's, and then the people that are actually watching it, just like casual viewers too. So please check it out. I'm super stoked for it. I mean, you get to see me with my shirt off, for crying out loud. Like, you can't lose. You can't lose. So.
Right. Wrestlers, September 13th. Tune in.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for your time. Great catching up with you.
Yes, man. Thank you so much. Thanks, Bill. Thank you for having me, sir.